William Shakespeare, the godfather of the English language, a man who has been tormenting high school students for close to 400 years. Amongst his most perplexing works are his sonnets. Of his 154 sonnets, his most popular is probably Sonnet 18, which is an ode to an eternal love. And it begs one simple but elemental question.
Shall I compare thee to a summer's day?
Although a summer's day is quite lovely, and Sonnet 18 does capture the fact that love and beauty last eternity. What happens if you're trying to break up with somebody? You certainly wouldn't compare them to a summer's day, right? So please enjoy our breakup sonnets. They may not be about summer's day, but oh, how they are lovely.
Compare thee to a killer bee, you rub me the wrong way.
I hate how much you've been harassing me lately, and you've stung me in the toe today. Your honey is never sweet.
It stings me so much that you lie, and you're the person I want to be. Now go sting someone and die.
You think you're the queen, you never use a comb. You're always super mean, and that's why I'm leaving you alone.
I hate to break up the hive, but this relationship just took a dive.
Shall I compare thee to a truck stop bathroom so foul and abused?
Filled with mushrooms, only the brave will use. You'll only want to hover over that nasty seat cover.
And in here, you'll align stinky vapor. You'll have to avoid your lover. Get some losers sold the toilet paper.
Shall not miss you when you leave, like the graffiti and cigarette burns scar the walls. There's nothing left for me to believe. In your foul words I recall.
I do not think the worst part of this was losing you, but the fact that I stepped in an old pile of chew.
Shall I compare thee to a 15-year-old computer? You were once so desirable in thy prime.
I did not see far into the future. You never aged well with the passing years of time. You process slower than the old people that use it.
Given a task, you locked up in freeze. Cracked screens, frayed wires, and held together with glue. I was able to dump and replace you with ease.
Now I shall not be burdened by you anymore. You were once great, but now you're just a waste of space. You were such a chore that I was such a bore. Your pathetic monitor has long been defaced.
As long as men create and innovation succeeds, there will always be a new version to replace thee.
Go for it.
Ready? Okay. Shall I compare thee to a loo? You start out clean and shiny. Now you're disgusting and filled with goo. End up like a dirty honey. At night, you're distant and cold.
I'm done being your plunger when you're clogged. You used to be so nice and bold. Now you're stuck and bogged.
You're about as inconsiderate as a toilet seat left up, or worse yet, a seat coated in pee. You're a disgusting giant bowl of poo. And I'm ready to get away from this and flee.
Okay. And now we cannot remain because my feelings for you have gone down the drain. Shall I compare thee to a chihuahua? All the makeup in the world cannot hide your bulgy eye.
The way you act does not leave me in awe. And when I see you, I want to crawl in a hole and die. That loud, high-pitched bark, loud and annoying, I can hear from afar.
I observe the way you act, and it's really quite stupid. I really, really hope you get hit by a car. Oh my god, I'm so... Okay, yeah. Okay. A sixth sense of humor has cured.
Your brain is so small, and your body's always shaking. Listen to me when I say do not call. It's not hard to see why I'm flaking.
As long as man can breathe and eyes can see, please understand to stay away from me.
You ready?
Yep.
Okay. Shall I compare thee to a tone-deaf parakeet? Thou art more annoying and dreadfully sing.
After twerking at the VMAs like a bird with two left feet, thou suffered defeat. Much like a lonely parakeet, thou shalt never have a ring. After years of being in a cage with you, I have wondered forever. Oh God, I don't remember.
Okay, and then her line would go on to say, with being in a cage with you, it felt like a wrecking ball. While clipping your feathers, I questioned your gender. After clipping your wings, you took a tall fall. I don't know what dress you were on, but you seemed like you were on a bender. Your parents are happy, and your sound is so bad.
You act like a cranky parakeet needing a nappy. You make your adorers sad. Your feathers are all moldy.
Your tongue is like a parakeet, like grease on a malt turkey, like rotten moldy meat.
Like a Justin Bieber figure, you think against the world, your repetition is bigger.
I compare thee to a porta potty on a construction site. Thou art more filthy and grotesque.
All you want to do is fight. You make me feel small and compressed that the construction attempts to cover.
The waist you attract, all you do is sit and hover. You're disguised, and that's a fact.
Your cover is full of words of hate, tall and stinky, warm like a sauna. You're out of date, so what's your fate? You cause so many traumas, queen of drama.
So long as workers work and potties smell, so live this relationship fail. Shall I compare thee to Pluto? Thou art cold and heartless.
You're like a bad place in the ghetto. You're dumb and useless, like a cold ball of ice.
Your core is dead. Your hair's full of lice. I can't believe you left me for Fred. Cold and floating, you're not even a... You wanna help me out? Planet, got it. I hope you're bloating from all those... Help me out again? Tenets. Rinsing you out. Leave our solar system forever and now.
Shall I compare thee to bubblegum? Thou seemed more sweet and delightful than a snow cone on a hot summer's day. Your sweetness can only last so long, and frankly, I think you're dumb. You're great to surpass the time, but as we know, all things must end without delay. Thou art so icky and clingy, I hate the way you pop a vein.
You're like a French who's very stingy every time I make a claim. I hate how you're always in my hair.
You always lose your flavor. We never...
It's okay.
Yeah, you always lose your flavor. We clearly don't make a pair. You're never in my favor.
You take off your wrapper so easily. You don't make this easy, and darling, you just don't please me.
Shall I compare you to a bowl of popcorn? You are more full of air, more bland.
I reached the bottom of the bowl, and all that was left was crumbled and torn. Thinking of one more kernel of you makes me nauseous and I can barely stand. You get in the way like when I'm watching a movie.
I use you just to pass the time. You were nothing special. You're totally not groovy. How do I keep forgetting? You stink up my house, and that's totally not fine.
One bite of you used to leave me wanting more, but after a while you got all up in my grill. You get stuck in my teeth, and I absolutely abhor. You're too expensive at the theater, and my wallet is no longer filled. In case your head's too full of air, we're done, and to be honest, it really hasn't been all that fun.
Good job. Next group.
You are more full of air, more bland.
I reached the bottom of the bowl, and all that was left was crumbled and torn. Thinking of one more kernel of you makes me nauseous and I can barely stand. You get in the way like when I'm watching a movie.
I use you just to pass the time. You were nothing special. You're totally not groovy. How do I keep forgetting? You stink up my house, and that's totally not fine.
One bite of you used to leave me wanting more, but after a while you got all up in my grill. You get stuck in my teeth, and I absolutely abhor. You're too expensive at the theater, and
My wallet is no longer filled.
In case your head's too full of air, we're done. And to be honest, it really hasn't been all that fun.
Thee to a college textbook, thou art more heavy and costly.
Your outer cover have a pleasant look. Your inner pages are works of insanity. Your hidden meanings are difficult to decode.
Sapping me of valuable time, and still I am forced to drag you into my abode. This much worry should be made a crime.
To each class I am forced to carry this cumbersome load that I cannot drop. Like a hungry dog, you won't let me vary. You drag me along to help you shop.
I am done with this, you I will never miss.
And action.
Shall I compare thee to bubblegum? Your sweet flavor does not last quite so long.
Before you turn rubbery, by the way, you're quite dumb. You have the appearance of dead King Kong, and you're just another pack on the shelf.
But in your pack, there's a few sticks less. With your ego, you have inflated yourself. You explode unexpectedly, making a mess.
You're filled with hot air and prone to stain. I've had you so long, you make my jaw ache. Rather than listening to your constant smacking, I'll jump off a plane.
You're opposite of cake, you sit in the bottom of a bag, you keep me from others, and like old skin, you're rather limp and you continue to sag.
There's so much of you every game to be smothered, and you get a bit of fun until your sogginess went under my tongue.
Action.
Shall I compare thee to a blender? Our relationship was a whirlwind of laughter.
Things were so tender, but this is what happened after. I gave you my heart,
which gave you the power to tear it apart. You're a sweet thing turned sour.
You let me in, but then you lost your lid. Let the mess begin, and I can't believe what you did.
On our relationship, I'm pulling the cord. Now my dignity will be restored.
To a slurpee, like the overly sweet taste and the brain freeze that follows.
Thou art seems much too cold and filled with ice. You are filled with an enjoyable refreshment, but this seems shallow. It's like you're from a gas station filled with mice. I never knew how bad you were for me and my health, but I can't continue this addiction to you.
I didn't notice that you were full of stealth. I hoped that this would have to spill, but just the thought of you gives me chills. I knew that this wouldn't fall through. I can say that we've had our thrills.
I know that our time together has flew, but I can definitely say this doesn't come with unlimited refills.
Shall I compare thee to a chocolate kiss? Thou art more sweet and good.
Thou did give me bliss. You did from the start, just like you should. Now and then you still are nice.
Often mean it does not suffice, but now and then you still beam.
Just like the chocolate you did deceive. The chocolate made me unfit, but now
Your love for me is lies, so now I'm officially saying my goodbyes.
Compare thee to a parrot. Thou art more loud and obnoxious.
Your piercing voice, I just can't bear it. And of your squawking I must be cautious. The feathers you wear are garish.
You make me want to wear a second eye patch. You make me want to perish. Who knew you could be such a catch?
Any good pirate would make you walk the plank. You constantly hover over my shoulder. If only I had a shank. My heart is growing colder.
Now that we say goodbye, I'm free to spread my wings and fly.
Shall I compare thee to bungee jumping, walking on the bridge, the anticipation builds?
Seeing the bungee, my heart starts thumping, a pit in my stomach starts to fill. Attaching the bungee to my feet.
Looking over the edge, what's fate going to decide? This feeling is something I can never repeat. I feel like I'm on a roller coaster ride.
Finally, free falling in midair. Will the bungee catch me? I can't look, do I dare? I feel like a bird, wild and free.
Now all I feel is a sudden stop. My body is now soaring.